Good morning, traders. Welcome to Elite Currency. My name is Chris, and of course, as always, an update on the euro dollar and the pound dollar. Before we look at the markets, though, I wanted to let you know of our free webinar coming up here with Nenad. He takes a look at all the upgrades and updates of his CAMACD MTF system that is generating a lot of the signals for the ECS Live service. We got a special promo coming up for 1 week with a special discount, 50% off for till 9th of May, in fact. And Nenad is going to explain all the details in this live webinar, and the webinar is recorded. So I'll add the link down below in the description box, and that's valid for both the live webinar and the recording. Nenad has had really great trades last month with his MTF, despite the incredible low volatility that we've never seen in a decade, probably, in the Forex market. And I think that's part of the reason why this pound dollar and the euro dollar did move up. It's a very dramatic story where price was very choppy. Then we got the dollar strength, in fact, rather than the dollar weakness. And it looked like a pretty good breakout, but then all of a sudden, boom, the reversal. And it is something that I was kind of warning for on Tuesday. If you remember, I said, the low volatility, the news events, the holidays, it all adds up. And then in those cases, a breakout might not have enough kind of momentum to follow through. The good news is that if you're looking for, from a SWAT perspective, we didn't get the continuation below the 21 EMA, so there was never a confirmation of a break, pullback, and continuation. All right, so critical 21 EMA zone, broke actually to the upside with this candle, a very good breakout candle, and we've seen upside ever since, breaking above that 144 EMA. In fact, very important level, the 144 EMA. So yes, quite dramatic, but maybe not so surprising in such an environment. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. First, you'll see that it is quite dramatic. It is very choppy, and it is, from that perspective, fits within what we were analyzing for a while, that this is really choppy territory. Now, yesterday was a pretty bearish candle on the euro dollar, pretty good wick, pretty good candle close near the low. So I do think that could be still a pullback. Pound dollar looks a little bit more bullish. If it does break above the 21 EMA high, then this was probably ABC. If we get a bounce here for more downside, then it's a fair chance that this is just still a pullback within a downtrend continuation. I mean, price is still at key 112.50 zone. So I think that there's a fair chance that this could be a bouncing spot here. If it breaks through this support zone, we will probably see a continuation down to 111, down to 110. So euro dollar, a little bit more bearish, I think, considering yesterday's daily candle. But also the euro dollar had a pretty sturdy bullish pullback and a pretty good angle, pretty good bullish impulse. And price never confirmed the break below the 21 EMA low. So it never confirmed this shallow pullback and continuation. And that, is quite dramatic. We had a very good push run here down to the downside. So logically, usually you get a pullback and continuation. In this case, it was in any case a semi-false break with the euro dollar. That said, the FOMC and the dollar interest rate decision yesterday still sent us down. Pretty good bearish candle there on the euro dollar. So I think that this is a fair chance that this is a pullback for more downside. The confirmation of that is a break below 111.80. And the fact that it doesn't break above this 112.60 area, I think. Let's check. 112.65. If it breaks above 112.65, then this is not a reversal anymore. I think that this could be a wave 1, 2, and then down it goes for wave 3 if it breaks below this bottom. So, but if it breaks above this top, then that's out of the window, and it is more bullish than I expected. In that case, price is breaking above 112.70, 75. That changes the entire perspective, and we're probably looking at an ABC correction on the daily chart here, like this, ABC, and we might be looking at an ABC up again, as I originally anticipated, here and here, in fact. All right, that's if it breaks above the resistance. Otherwise, what I'm looking for, a break below the 21 EMA low on the 4-hour chart or the 1-hour chart, break above that low, the 21 EMA zone should send this lower and should, send some bearish downside pressure. Now keep in mind that there is a news event remaining today on the pound that will have some impact on the euro dollar too. Plus we have NFP tomorrow. So it is a week full of news. We also had a holiday in Europe yesterday. And generally speaking, it's the last day of the month and the first day of the month in the middle of this week. So very kind of difficult circumstances from this perspective. Now the pound dollar went up a lot more, as you can see. So there's two scenarios. Either this is A, B, C from my perspective, also very possible, and this is starting a new uptrend, or it's still basically kind of a wave 1, 2, maybe like this, wave 1, 2, and then a lower degree wave 1, 2, or maybe like this, wave 1, 2, sorry. So that's still possible. So keeping an eye on both scenarios. This is a strong push up. Got to give the pound dollar that benefit of the doubt, right? Very strong push up, and it is staying above the 21 EMA and the 144 EMA, and this is already candle number 11. So it's starting to become quite a big momentum, and if it stays above this 21 EMA for another 4 to 9 candles, then I'm leaning towards upside. So that is basically next week, right? If price stays above this, despite all of the news, despite all of the pound interest rate and NFP tomorrow, and if price stays above this 21 EMA, then very good chance that the weekly candle is very bullish, engulfed the previous one, or it broke above it. Candle would be something like this probably. Well, in my view, then in that case, it looks like a continuation of the upside, I think, up towards 134-ish, all right, 135-ish. So that probably could be the best approach for the pound dollar, to wait for this week's weekly candle. On the daily, we had a little bit of a wick, but not as much as the euro, and that's not necessarily a very strong reversal sign to me. It could be a bouncing spot too for the pound, and it might continue as a wave 1, 2, and then down for 3. For that confirmation, I think a break below the 21 EMA on the daily chart is the best. Close below this level at 130, 129.75, candle close below it, candle close near the low, and a pretty solid sized candle measured from high to low as well. All right, that would confirm, I think, that fact that this is a pullback and we're back in a downtrend. So looking for daily candle to confirm the downside, or a weekly candle to confirm the upside, I think is the best. Trading today is risky. We got a pound interest rate, so I wouldn't personally like to trade that now. But if price does make a bull flag like this for whatever reason, then yes, it is probably pretty good position for continuation higher, in fact. If we see strong momentum like this and then a bear flag, it could be still set up for some downside even this week. But not much time remaining and a lot of news events, so be careful of that. I'd rather wait for daily and weekly candles for the moment. And once again, if you want to join the live webinar or see the recording, Nenad is going to talk about his CAMAC DMTF system. It did generate 76% win rate this year up till like April 10, I think it was. I made the last calculations before we made the article about this upcoming webinar. So join us. If not, no problem. See you in the next video on the weekend, and wish you all good trading. Cheers.